Anthropic just overtook OpenAI for the first time ever in both revenue and enterprise adoption. We're talking about $30 billion in annual revenue versus OpenAI's $25 billion. And on the secondary market, Anthropic just hit a $1 trillion valuation above OpenAI. This is the biggest power shift in AI in 3 years, and today I'm going to break down exactly what happened and what it means for you. For 3 years, OpenAI was a leader in AI, undisputedly. 900 million weekly active users, the most funding, the loudest brand. ChatGPT essentially became synonymous with the word AI itself. But here's the biggest AI lesson of 2026. More users does not equal more money. Anthropic doesn't came close in terms of number of active users, but Claude won in the enterprise market, the one that actually pays, both in revenue and enterprise adoption rate, the two dimensions that actually matter. So what does this mean to you personally, if you're actually using AI at work? First, choosing Claude is now the safer bet. Second, AI costs are coming down, and Anthropic is one of the leaders leading that. Third, most importantly, Cloud Code is worth getting into right now. It's the single biggest driver of this revenue surge. By February this year, it was already at $2.5 billion annualized, the fastest growing developer tool in AI right now. And early adopters win. You want to be that early adopter. Honestly, the thing that I use Claude for most is finding leads. I built a Claude skill that does, in one conversation, what used to take me an hour of tab switching. Surface people who engage with competitors' posts this week, and other signals, score them by fit, and the best ones to my active campaign, and flag anyone sitting in my inbox without a reply for 3 days. Okay, so now without further ado, let's start building it. To add an Appify connector, you can just go directly to Add Connector and then search for Appify and toggle this on. After you connect the Appify connector, there's one more step that you need to get an API key. You're gonna go to Setting, API Integration, and here it has the API token, so you can just copy this token and paste it here. Similarly with LinkNav, the steps are in here. You will need an account and then go to Integrations tab and then go to Claude Connector. First copy this MCP server, then go to Claude Connector, Manage Connector, add a custom connector, and from here, paste the MCP server here and call it LinkNav, and then add. You can see it here. And for the API key, you just copy it from here and paste it into this connector whenever needed. Okay, now let's go back and go to this cowork, start a new task, and you can start prompting to Claude by asking Claude to build a skill that does the 4 things. First is getting 50 leads from Appify connector who might need my service. Getting the leads from LinkedIn and run autonomous campaign. Of course, you're going to replace this part to your service. And second, filter the leads. Exclude the people who are my competitors because you don't want to target people who offer similar service. And you also want to exclude people that are non-decision makers. Exclude the non-direct buyers in general. After this step, generate intent score for each person. Last, use the LinkNav connector and create a campaign called Fresh Leads with a timestamp, and then make sure the campaign use auto-reply mode with human approval. And don't worry if your prompt is not perfect, you can always update the skill whenever you want. Let's go. The skill has been successfully created. We first used the Appify MCP to get the leads, and then created a Python file to exclude by 3 criteria: competitor, non-decision makers, and non-direct buyers. You can save this skill to your logo and update it later, but now let's just run this skill and show me the result. At a certain point, Claude want to confirm some details of the campaign. For example, the goal should be book a meeting. The outreach language is English. Send 20 messages per day. Looks good. Allow for this task. All 100 leads loaded. You can see all of the leads here. The task is still being processed. As you can see, I'm already using extra usage outside my pro plan. And I also noticed this pattern that for similar tasks, if I run it through Cloud Cowork, it's usually more expensive than I run directly the APIs. And that totally makes sense. As you see, Claude doesn't just execute the task, it also does the thinking, the planning, the calling different tools, and also self-corrections, as explained here. For Claude to remember the context, like what you did in step 1, step 2, that's also extra tokens. So that's why I think Cowork is a great tool to use. But if you already have a very set workflow, step 1 to 3, it's better to just directly call those APIs without Claude having to think, which will definitely cost extra tokens. Alright, Claude has completed all the steps here. Out of 100 raw leads, after filtering by these 3 criteria, 89 were left. After scoring them, we have top 50 selected. It has been pushed to this campaign. Here are some of the top leads. And after we're ready, we can activate this campaign. Okay, so now let's go to the LinkNav platform and check out our campaign. Go to Campaigns tab. This one is the campaign that I created, currently in the pause state. From here, we can customize this campaign as much as we want to send the first message, or we wait for the other person to send the message.
Do we want auto reply without human approval, with a human approval, or do it manually? My favorite choice is with approval. So what this looks like is for each conversation, it will read the whole context and then give me a suggested reply. From here, I can just approve and send it directly, or I can edit it and then send. Also, if you want to have more detailed understanding of the prospect, you can view it from the list. All the prospects have an intent score. You can not only see their signal for this person just moved job, but also the intent score and the reason why he has this high intent score. And when the AI replies are generated, whether it needs a human approval or not, it really comes from here, the prompt, where you can give super detailed instructions about how you want the conversation to go. For example, if the prospect is interested, then send them the link, but don't send in the first two messages. If they're not interested, then stay professional and exit gracefully. And if you want static sequence, you can also set a date for first message, second message, and so on. After all the configuration, you can also test how this AI representative works by just talking to it. Do you use LinkedIn? Yes. Then the AI will, based on the instructions, ask what does the current process look like. And as you see, this conversation is not static at all. It really comes from reading the whole conversation as well as reading the person's persona, including their name, headline, and so on. With the capability of LLM, AI can totally understand the whole context and draft a super professional reply. From active signals, you can also monitor your competitor for their active commenters and active likers within the past 24 hours, let's say. And you can turn this on so this agent runs on a daily basis. Other signals include people who just moved job, just posted, hiring, new leadership, new round of funding. Again, if you forget the steps of how to integrate this, it's super easy. Just go to integrations, click Claude connector, and then follow these two links.